The man who headed the forensic investigation into the fraud at the VBS Mutual Bank, Advocate Terry Motau, says the bank cannot be saved. The report into the collapse of the bank, which was commissioned by the South African Reserve Bank, recommended that more than 50 people be criminally charged in connection with the theft of almost 2 billion rand. For more reaction, we now cross live to our reporter Mike Maringa, who is in Thohoyandou at VBS Bank. Mike, a very good morning to you. You have been on top of the story since it broke. What is the reaction to the report now?
Good morning to you, Destry, and good morning to our viewers at home. You are indeed correct. You are coming to us live from Thohoyandou. I'm standing in front of the VBS Bank. This is where we have been coming for the past few weeks. We have been here interacting with old women, the grannies who were sleeping on the floor, hoping that they could be the first on the line to withdraw their money after they were told that the bank is bankrupt. At the time, they couldn't even do anything. Their stock fell money. Burial societies couldn't do anything. They couldn't withdraw because this bank here behind us had no money at all. We have seen the report, like you have rightfully put by Advocate Motau, that the bank is bankrupt. It cannot be resuscitated. There's no money at all. The looting, and he has also put it that it is the biggest heist that we have seen in South Africa. And I can, as you can see behind me, the bank is deserted. This used to be one of the very most active banks in Thohoyandou. The people who are living in and around this area were coming in numbers because they had a mutual understanding. It was not only a mutual bank, but something that they could identify with. That's why they trusted this bank with their monies. But to talk more about on what transpired here, let me bring now our political analyst, Mr. Lucas Namtangela, just to tell us about all the activities that they've had. Mr. Namtangela, we have seen a report yesterday saying that this bank cannot be resuscitated. It's all gone. What's your take?
Well, I think it is all there to the public to know what has happened. And I think the forensic report that has just come out is the second phase of the investigations. I think what has happened, as they have put it, it is like a heist. In other words, people have looted the coffers of the bank to an extent that the Reserve Bank had to put it under curatorship.
Then let's talk about political parties. You've got ANC, EFF officials that are implicated. What does this mean to these two political parties, looking into the fact that next year we are going to general elections? Will this talk to their votes? Will they be affected in the long run?
Well, I think given the customers, we're talking about the poor women and the old men who entrusted their money to this bank. And these are the very people who were looted by this, amongst others, very prominent politicians are involved. Very prominent business people are involved. So I think it doesn't augur well for the future, more especially the fact that we are moving towards the coming national and provincial elections.
And some of the names that we have seen on the list include the name of the Bavenda King, Tony Mpepura Mabulan. We have got senior officials of the bank who are said to have benefited with a lot of money. We have seen transactions that have gone to their banks. What does this mean to the ordinary people who trusted the kingship, who trusted the leadership of this bank?
Well, I think using the legal dictum of being proven innocent until you are found guilty, one can say that, of course, there are issues that have been bedded around, but they haven't been legally tested. So I think we still wait, just like the Zondo inquiry. You will know that the public protector had to investigate first, and she came up with those findings, and only then they had to institute this inquiry. So even in this instance, all these people, and they are also saying they are innocent, so this has to be proved legally.
And before I let you go, Namtangela, let's talk about the future of this bank. Are you seeing the future here, or is it all over?
Well, I think given the fact that right now it is under curatorship, and even the Reserve Bank has indicated that it will be very difficult to resuscitate this bank. Of course, there are people who are trying to indicate that maybe this bank has to be resuscitated, given the fact that the customers are the poor people who were entrusting their money and who were not traveling long distances and who were getting this service. It is a wish that it has to be resuscitated, but the fact remains, is it possible to resuscitate it?
That was Lucas Nemtangela, our political analyst, giving us of what has transpired here, and also if it is possible to resuscitate this bank, looking at the fact that it is bankrupt, there's nothing. But one thing that I must highlight to you, Desiree, before I come to you, is that political parties like the ANC in the past, they were saying that they are not going to comment on this issue before the report is out. Now that the report is out, they are available. We'll be talking to them in the next coming hour, and it's now back to you in the studio.
Mike, I know you handed back to me, but I just wanted to find out from you, since you are so close to the story, what is the conversation going around the community about how they hope to organize so they can get back their money? All right, Mike didn't hear me there. I'll try and ask him that question when we connect to him again later on the show.